Hello, my name's Mel, welcome to my world, and for those of you that are new to my channel, I'm currently turning this Mercedes Sprinter into an off-grid, go anywhere, sleep absolutely anywhere, kind of stealthy camper van. And today I want to show you how I made this cabinet. Just take a look at that. Now from the back it doesn't look much, does it, cat? But as I bring you around and show you closer, you can actually see, well, what you can't see are the joins in the wood, because I've blended it all in. Even though I used simple hand tools to make this cabinet, I think it's turned out really well. So if you want to see how I made this cabinet using just simple hand tools, then watch this video. Where do I begin? How do I figure this out? Because I haven't made any plans. I've just built this cabinet. It's a big open space, so the first thing I need to do is actually think about what I'm going to put under here. So let's start at one end and work our way across. But before we do that, yeah, I need to find some bits and pieces. I need to get together the stuff that I want to put under it. So I'm going to collect the stuff that I need and yeah, see how it's all going to fit. So one of the things I want to put under this unit are these boxes. These are 9 litre. Really useful box. I want to try and get as many of these under here as I can. And it just so happens they do actually fit quite nicely there. Now one of these I want to put like a first aid kit inside, medicine, yeah, just basically medicines and first aid kit. I've already got some of these full of junk, so we'll just put those, there in the corner for now. So that they seem to fit there. Now I can't put drawers here because I've got all my switches there, and all my wires are back here as well. So yeah, I think they can go there. So that's one thing I want under there. Also I want a cutlery drawer for my cutlery, so that can go there. Obviously that's going to be up here, but my sink tends to interfere with that, so that can go there. The sink, so I want to leave this area free underneath the sink for my grey water tank. Oh yeah, my fire extinguisher. Hang on, just go and get that. So this is what I'm going to actually use this as a water tank for my tap. I put water inside this, pressurise it, connect the other end to my tap. Hey presto, I've got water. And the thing is, this is empty now. I've emptied it, and it's really light, lighter than a plastic container, and it's stainless steel, so I won't get that nasty plastic taste. So that's going to go there and connect to my tap. So there you go. They're the main 3 elements I want under my sink. I want storage, somewhere to put my cutlery, somewhere to put my water. You'll notice I don't have a stove yet. That's because I'm going to have a worktop stove, one that I can take out and use outside as well as inside. And I've said this before, I'm not a great cook, so I don't need a great big fancy cooking appliance. It's just not my thing, cooking. So now I need to divide it up into equal parts. So to do that I'm going to start 2 posts basically. So let's go and get those cut. Back in a minute. Right, so I've cut these to length. There you go. They fit there like that. Oh, that one's a nice and tight fit. It's quite precise. Quite impressed with that. Oh, I'm a bit out of breath. I've still got a bit of a man flu, by the way. Maybe this is too big. Yeah, because this has to go about there, I think. Hang on, let's get rid of that. I'm using this as a square. I'll put it upside down. I can actually judge roughly where that's going to go. Yeah, that's not going to fit. There won't be enough room. No, I'll need a smaller tray. I'll need a much smaller tray. That's far too big. Back in a minute. Right, so I've just popped down the shops and brought a smaller tray. That's a lot smaller, as you can see. A big difference. So now I've got a smaller tray. I know that is going to fit. It's going to fit easy now. Right, so that's a lot easier. Yeah, it's coming together in my mind's eye. In my mind, it's kind of coming together. And this is how I do it. This is the whole process. This is the thinking process behind how I design stuff, to give you an insight on how I work. So this door here, I use. I'll just get this door out. This is a door I made earlier for underneath my stove. So 3 planks. If I put that there like that, it's actually the right width for 3 pieces of cladding. So that works out quite well. Let's mark it where it's going to go. So 3 pieces. So I want that there. All professional stuff, as you see. Put a little mark there. I will measure this out properly later on. This is just for my guidance. Just whilst I figure out where it's all going to go. I think that works. Right, so now I need to make some drawers, or a drawer. So if I make a drawer that this fits in, then I can decide where that's going to go. Right, back in a minute. So here's the drawer I've made. I've made this really simple drawer. As you can see, it's basically just a wooden box, and that's going to be my drawer. I'm not going to use drawer runners. No drawer runners. This is going to be free floating, or kinda. I'm going to try and work out how I can make this so that I don't need those drawer runners, because putting drawer runners is a real pain, getting everything square. So that's my drawer. Now I need to find a way of actually supporting that drawer. Right, give me a minute to think about this. Right, so to support my drawer, I've made this piece of framework. This is going to go, hopefully, in here, like this, like that. And my drawer will sit on top of there. So no need for drawer runners. The drawer will fit in there like that. That will go against there like that. Hey presto, one drawer. So now all I've got to do is make another drawer and another one of those. So I've made another support, another drawer support that will fit around about there. Just put it on top of there for now. Now whilst I'm making this drawer, whilst I was making it, I actually come up with another idea. I've got this lip on the back. Basically that'll stop, I can hook it in. This will be there like that. This will go underneath, and that will stop the drawer coming out. It'll be easy to put in because I have to lift it, hook it under, and then there, hopefully, that will stop the drawer falling out. And the first drawer I made, I haven't put this on because I didn't think about it then. So yeah, the first drawer, I might add a bit on the back later on. I can always screw a bit to it and maybe even remake the drawer later, put a different back on it. But yeah, I thought that's quite a neat idea. Remember, I'm just making this up as I go along, right? So there's my drawers. So now I've made all my components. All I need to do is screw it all together. Be right back. Well, that wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. Getting all that in there nice and square, and on my own as well, was a little bit difficult, a little bit tricky, but I got there in the end. My third hand piece of masking tape, basically I used masking tape to hold it in place and then drilled and screwed it. Sorry I didn't film all that because I just really need to get this van done, and filming and building at the same time really does slow me down. But anyway, that aside, there's my framework. So now I've got all my different compartments, my drawers. I'll show you how this drawer works. I'm really pleased that's worked out really well. That goes in like that, and that bit at the back stops it coming right out. Oh, that sags a little bit, but there's no drawer runners, remember. So yeah, it's a little saggy, but that's okay. Wait thing is, it closes. Top one. I think to stop this drawer falling out all the way, I might just simply put some blocks on each side. Just put some blocks there to stop it coming out, but then that'll be permanent. I won't be able to take that drawer out ever. Well, I could do, I have to unscrew them. But there you go, they fit, that's the main thing, and it's all nice and square. You can see I've made these recessed because I like to use the cladding for a bit. My cladding that I put on the side of the van I like to use as my drawer fronts as well. So I've made it recessed so it'll be all nice and flush, because I want to paint this frame the same colour as this. But I've got another idea, I've changed my mind again. Because I've got this idea. See, if that's flush like that and it fits in, then that's pretty much solid. But I thought if I bring the drawer forward a little bit and have it so I can lift it, using the same principle as this doesn't fall all the way out, I can actually use that principle as well to hold the drawer in. You know what it's like when you get in your camper, you go off, first roundabout you go round, all your drawers come flying open. It's a common problem. And normally I would use these little latches on the side to hold them shut, but I'm forever forgetting to latch the drawers up. So I thought what I'll do, I've got some of these little nasty plastic blocks. If I screw one of them underneath, then I have to lift the drawer, lift it up and over the block to open it. When I close it, same thing again, lift it to close it, and it will drop into place. That way there's no latches, there's no mistakes. As long as the drawer's shut, I know it's not going to come flying open when I go around the first corner. That's the plan anyway. So, but to do that, if I was to have it recessed in, obviously I wouldn't be able to lift it. So this, the drawer front, needs to be on the outside so that it'll lift. The drawer can actually lift up over the little block. So yeah, slight change of plan there. Now I know these screws look pretty ugly, but I will cover those up, don't worry. Right, let's get on and make some drawer fronts and some doors. Right, so before it gets too dark and I run out of daylight, just want to show you how I get the doors the right length. So all I do is get a bit of cladding, put it where it's got to go, get my trusty pencil, and then from behind simply mark it. I'll get this nice thick black line, and then I'll use my square to mark 5mm down from that line. So I'll end up with a 5mm line going across here like that, and then that's the length of my door. And then this piece I use as a master, and I cut, I think I'm going to need 4 bits for this. 2 pieces of cladding cut to size, and then Bob's your uncle. There you go. So they're my drawer fronts. Now all I need to do is put lots of glue on there. Not on there obviously. Lots of glue on there. Put that in place. Screw my handles in place, and the screws for the handle will hold that in place whilst the glue dries. Lost my handles. I want to go and find some handles. Right, so I found my little handles. My glue. Oh, I'm getting cramp in my leg. Lots of glue on there like that. I like to make like a crossover pattern. So I've put my glue on the front of my drawer. Simply put that back into place. Like that. Now there's a reason I have this line at the bottom, is because if I have it at the top it'll be quite fragile, so that's why I have it that way up. Okay, let's put that into place like that. But assembling it in situ, it makes sure everything's nice and square. Really quite simple really. Drill. Put my handle about there. Oh no, down a bit because of the draw. Yeah, let's put it on that line there, make sure it's nice and straight then. If I use this line as a guide, then let me sleeve up so I can't quite see where it's in the middle. Yeah, that's about right. There you go. That's my draw front. So we'll just leave that overnight to dry. Might take that down a bit actually. That one isn't quite touching, so we'll put a masking tape, pull it nice and tight. And the edges there. I mean, I could put clamps on it, I suppose. If you was a professional, you probably would clamp it, but I'm not a professional. There we are. So now I'll just simply let that dry overnight, and then in the morning take the handle off, smooth it down with my sander, and then start painting. Well, a couple of days have gone by and I'm feeling a lot better, not quite 100%, but I've got my heater on, so it's nice and cosy in here. Even though I've got the door open, the weather has kind of dried up a little bit. It has been playing havoc. But anyway, let's not dwell on that. It's only an illness. My glue should be plenty dry now, so now I can take my masking tape off. If it'll come off, it's been on here a while. The thing is with masking tape, if you leave it on too long, the longer you leave it on, the harder it is to get off. So be very wary of this. Don't leave your masking tape on for too long, because it does kind of, yeah, so it does kind of become a bit permanent. But anyway, my masking tape's off. My glue's dried, I think. Yeah, look at that, nice. It's nice and flush now. It's all nice and dried. So now all I've got to do is strip these back. I need to take the handles off now, because the handles, I screwed them on just to hold the panels in place, because the screws go right through. You can just see the tips of them there, but I will file them off later on. Same thing on this one. Now the main job today is to hide these screws. I want to hide these screws up and blend these joints in, get rid of these nasty joins, because I mean, I'll try and cut the wood as square as I can and as evenly as I can, as nice as I can, but it always looks a little bit rough. So I've come up with an idea to blend it in and make it look a little bit nicer. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. But first, like I say, I need to strip it all back. I'm going to get rid of the drawers, take the doors off. Again, the hinges are just there to hold everything in place while the glue sets. So now the glue's dry, I'll remove all the screws, everything, strip it all back again, and then yeah, start tidying it up, smooth it all down, paint it, make it look nice. So that's next. That's what I'm going to do right now. So yeah, let's strip it down. Okay, the big reveal, the moment you've all been waiting for. How do I blend it in? How do I hide these joints? How do I hide these screws? How do I get it all looking so nice and so rounded and seamless? It's quite simple really. It's a technique I used to use when I used to build kit cars. It's quite simple. It's a bit of a cheat. But I use auto body filler. It's quite simple really. I've got a tin. Basically all I do is get some filler. Now when you're using body filler, you want to use about, the ratio is around about a golf ball to a pea to filler and hardener. And I don't know, I've done this so many times, I just kind of guess. So about that much, and all we do is mix it up. And because it's body filler, it does go off really quick. You don't have to wait hours and hours for it to set. And it's easy to sand down as well. And this easy sand body filler, actually, it kind of blends in the wood with the wood really well. Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, why don't you just use wood filler? But the thing is, you can buy wood filler, but I think it's water based and it takes forever to dry, but this stuff just goes in the holes, squish it in, skim it across, leave it a little bit proud, and that's it. Now wait for that to dry and sand it down. It's as simple as that. Make sure you get it in the holes like that, and then the edges as well, get it in the edges like this. Because the wood is porous, obviously it sticks to it really easy as well, like that. Same up there. Obviously I'm going to repaint the frame. I probably shouldn't have bothered painting the frame actually until I've done this. Like that. So yeah, oh, email. Somebody sent me an email. I'll have to wait till I've done this because I don't want this going off just yet. Wonder who that could be. It's so warm in here because I've got the heater going. This is actually going off already. I better be quick. Stop messing about, Mel, and just fill it. There you go. Now there is a downside to this obviously, and that's the mess it makes when you rub it down. When I go to sand this down, I will have to wear a mask for two reasons. My chest isn't that good and it's really unhealthy. So yeah, when I rub this down, I'll show you that in a minute when it dries. Which the rate this is going, it's going to dry pretty quick. What I'm doing, I'm putting this spreader against it and then pushing so that it goes into the crack. So the filler is actually going right into the crack, like that, forcing it in the crack as it were. Putting it under pressure, make sure it goes nice and in. Maybe don't forget that one. Try not to forget any. Like that. Yeah, that one, that one, that one, that one. Holes. Oh, that's not very good. A bit low there. So, a bit more on that one. That one, that one. A bit more on that one. And I've got a couple outside to do. Back in a minute when it's dry. So now the filler's all dry. As you can see, it's nice and dry. It's pretty solid. All I need to do now is rub it down and paint it basically. Now to rub it down, I use just regular DA discs. This is 140 grit. So these are like sticky pads. And again, these are left over from when I used to build kit cars. I've had these for years and they last well. And what I'll do, I'll put one on a pad and just rub it down. It's as simple as that. It really is easy, but it does create quite a lot of dust. So for that reason, plus I've got a dodgy chest anyway, I'm going to put a mask on. There's always one, isn't there? So now I've got my mask on, fold one of these in half and start rubbing down. Oh, that's a bit dusty. Hang on, I've got an idea. I think I'll put my fan on. So now I've masked it all up, it's all ready to paint. I'll just bring you in closer so you can see. You can see how it's all blended in. You can see what the filler's done. It's just got rid of those nasty screws there and there and there, and it's made it all nice and blended. If I bring it around, you can see how it's the effect it has on the corners. It just makes it that little bit better. Oh my god, look at the dust. Right, so I'm going to put you back on the stand and get painting. Well, that's that paint. It didn't take long at all. Now while that's drying, because it's going to need a couple of coats probably, so whilst that first coat dries, I'm going to go into the garage and start painting the doors. And the doors I'm going to do in a contrasting colour. Quite looking forward to how this is going to turn out. So whilst the paint was drying, I painted my doors, and I've also refitted everything to the doors and the drawers now. Look at this, look how these look. They look absolutely lovely. I'm really pleased with how they're coming out. And also, on the bottom, rather than put those little plastic plugs that I was going to put on it, I made these wooden wedges. If I hold it at that angle, you can see, so that it skims over. Let me just demonstrate how that's going to work. And also this back piece as well. So with that, that back part is going to stop the drawer falling right out. And that wedge at the bottom, it's going to stop it opening when I go around the corner. And to open the drawer, I simply open it a little bit, lift it, then open it up. Look at that, no need for any catches or latches, no drawer runners, all completely handmade. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. And I've done exactly the same on this one. I've got like a wedge on the bottom, and that goes up against this part there. Oh, did I just scratch it? Never mind, I'll just repaint it. That's the beauty of this. If I damage anything, it's so easy to make and repair. So there you go. Right, so let's put the rest of the doors on. Oh, let's get rid of this as well before it ends up sticking. Yeah, masking tape. If you leave masking, I think I said this earlier, but if you leave masking tape down too long, it does become kind of permanent. It's a real pain to get off. Right, let's get rid of that. So let's put this door on now. I'm just going to put one screw in the hinge just to hold it in place. Just to make sure it all fits and lines up. I've already drilled holes. So really it's just a matter of replacing the doors, putting them back where they come from. It's a bit tight. It's a little bit tight, but it's maybe the wood's swollen a little bit because it's still damp. The paint is quite damp. But the other good thing about these doors, making them like this, it's very easy just to trim a bit off the edge. I mean, if that was the traditional motorhome chipboard type stuff, you wouldn't be able to do that at all. That's what I like about these doors. I mean, yeah, if I want to trim a bit off, I can. It's easy. And what I'm trying to create here as well is, I think one of my subscribers summed it up. They said they like the way I build camper vans because they look homely, and that's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to make it look homely rather than motor homely. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. And that's why I like this rustic style, because it does look kind of cottagey, and that's what I'm trying to create. And I think I've achieved that with this van. It really is coming together quite nice. Just trying to do this as quick as I can so we can see what it looks like. There we go. Ah, the other thing is, this is deliberate by the way, the thickness of this wood level with the door stops the door from going in on itself, so there's no need really for a stopper, you see, because it won't, because it squares off against this. So yeah, it still goes in a little bit, but it won't go all the way in because this goes up against there, and that is deliberate. I just want to point that out. Right, so it's running out. This one, the door isn't quite level at the top. Again, it don't matter because I can just trim a bit off later on. I'm only putting one screw in here, in each one, just to make sure it all fits still. For the purpose of this demonstration. There you go. And again, these cross members go against this and stops the door going in on itself. So all I need now to hold the door shut, quite simply, more screws. These little clips, these little, I don't know what they're called actually, but basically I'll just put one of these there like that. Don't do them up too tight or you won't twist them. There you go. And that holds the door shut. Simple but effective. I think you'll agree. Another one down here. Maybe in the middle. Yeah, let's put it in the middle. I'll put this one in the middle. It'll hold that door shut as well. So that one clip holds that door shut and that one. There you go. Maybe I should put one there as well. Nah, that's fine. That's fine as it is. Maybe I should put it there in the middle of that one. Yeah, I'm going to move that. See how simple this is? I'll just move that up there. Yeah. Don't have to bend down so far either to open the door. I'll just pop that like that. There you go. Sorted. And that is my cupboard done. So there you go, that's my cabinet done. I mean, I'm really pleased how that's turned out. I think that looks absolutely brilliant. So if you like this video, please do give me the thumbs up. Don't forget, if you are new to my channel, please do consider subscribing. And by subscribing to my channel, you help me feed a cat. I've got two and they're hungry. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra for now.